Hello right bags, it's Jay. Don't adjust your TV screens or your mobile devices. Yes, I'm doing an ARK news video. It's been a while since I've done one. I've been pretty much putting any news about ARK into my live shows, if there's any at all. And really, I'm only taking a look at some of this stuff now if I'm actually really interested in it. You've not seen much Genesis 2 gameplay from me, quite simply because I just don't like the DLC at all. And I'll be hoping for a much more primitive style of play when ARK 2, the sequel, comes out next year. But we've still got a long time to wait. My predictions are we're not going to see ARK 2 until the end of 2022. And so no wonder Wildcard are pushing heavily already that they're going to be adding another free map. Now this again got announced a good while ago, but ARK Lost Island is pretty unique in that it's going to offer a free dinosaur. In fact, there's going to be 3 new creatures added to the game, and one of these creatures is chosen by you. So they've had this competition set up for a while. You could submit your dossiers, pretty much little files of what your dinosaur looked like with its abilities, or just give a general description of what you feel like the dinosaur might have, and everyone got to vote on the top 10 that would go through to the final vote. So this has interested me, but again I haven't covered it because I wanted to wait until we got the final 10 rather than make long videos on about 300 creatures that got submitted. There was a little bit of controversy to do with YouTubers and streamers from around the world maybe swaying the public vote a little bit in terms of what ones were most popular, and that still might happen, and it might be the case in the final top 10, but that's it. Even if a YouTuber does say he likes another creature, doesn't mean that millions of followers also have to like that creature. It is a popularity contest, and I feel that's just the way it's going to go. Me personally, I still think they should probably have just chosen which one they liked, the developers themselves, rather than maybe rely on a public swayed vote. For sure, narrow it down to these 10 and then let the developers decide which one will actually go through. But they haven't. They've left it open to you guys, so you can go and vote right now which dinosaur you want to actually have come as part of the Lost Island map. ARK's creatures are probably some of the best things about the game, and in any survival game there is nothing that compares to the amount of variety, the different abilities, the ways that you can utilise these creatures, and so many of them. Over 200 unique creatures in ARK. Again, I'll give them props. I know I criticise the game, I know I criticise the game developers a lot, but I do try and recognise that they do some good stuff, and certainly in terms of the creatures, there's no better way or developer of making these creatures unique and different and having so much choice. But let's go through it anyway and talk about what these creatures have to offer. Cinnamocrops bondi, and it is a Pterosaurus found in China. He suggested that it could have a buff that provides night vision, or like the crow in Mining Mods Wildlife, a buff to increase rarity in loot crates found. It is a smaller little sort of handheld creature by looks of things, or shoulder pet, and it's a relatively brand new one. It's like a flying squirrel or bat mixed with a salamander. That sounds like some mad concoction made up by Rockwell himself. But it's pretty cool, I like this. Doesn't look like it's going to be winning the vote anytime soon though, with only 5.5% of the vote. Now we've got a bit of time before the actual votes close. July the 30th is the last time that you can vote for which one you want, so make sure you sign into the survivetheark.com website and make sure you do your vote. So yeah, pretty cool, and well done for at least getting through to the top 10. I'm going on like it's lost already, but yeah, you kind of can tell which ones are going to be the top ones. Then we got the Dinopithecus, and I gotta say, I'm not a big fan. Sorry guys, I don't want another monkey in the game. Sorry up from the depths. I know I've helped you out or tried to on social media a couple of times talk about the fact that some of these creatures have been just voted for by massive YouTubers and stuff. But I gotta say man, out of all the creatures in the game, I do not want another monkey. Yes, we've got plenty of dinosaurs, and yes, we may have plenty of sort of mammoth style creatures or mammal style creatures, but I really can't see why this is so popular. The monkeys we already have are pretty boring. I mean, maybe if this does really revamp it and does something pretty decent with it, it could be good. I maybe like the fact that it can wrap up survivors in its tail, but from a gameplay point of view, I can't really see how this would actually work. I guess maybe some sort of mechanics like the bog spider, but yeah, I'm just not feeling a baboon styled monkey. But to give it its time, like I will give some of these other creatures, obviously this is going to be a lonely creature in total seclusion, residing on the highest mountains or deep within a jungle. Encounters with this violent beast usually end in a savage beating, pulverising its target until nothing but a bloody stain. Apparently it's going to be pretty hard to tame one of these guys, and they'll have some sort of bloodlust that makes them more ferocious the more they attack. It sounds like a mini Giga within a little monkey. What I do like though is the fact they've got so much information that they put together for this dossier. Props to them as well for all the research that must have gone into it and stuff. It looks really cool, and definitely for fans, I'm sure you've enjoyed reading all this stuff. But for me, nah, I don't want another monkey. But I can see why maybe other players have voted for it. We don't have that many kind of two-legged or upright creatures, so maybe that's why people kind of want to see it added to the game as something a bit more different. Then we've got the Ceratosaurus Tyrannus Mortem, which again, I would say I probably don't want another creature like this either. It looks just like a Carnotaur or the Allosaurus, etc. It's got that kind of same build, same style. And since we've already got that plus the Giga, I feel like it'd be a bit overkill to have just another version of one of them creatures. Its pros are that it's going to be good for speed, and it also has attack damage with that horn, as well as obviously biting with its sharp teeth. Smaller than a T-Rex but larger than a Raptor. Well, that's a pretty big difference between them two anyway. Yeah, I can't really see this being a particularly special or unique creature. And I guess you guys have said the same, as it's only got nearly 6% of the vote. And Dinopithecus is actually winning at the moment with 29%. Fair play that you guys don't want just another scaly creature so far. Be interesting to see if some of the other creatures do manage to overtake it. It's pretty close with one of them. And this one I kind of like the look of a little bit. It reminds me like of a lizard cat. Inostrancevia Gorgonops. Again, apologies, I'm getting some of the people that submitted this wrong. I think there's a little bit of confusion about whether or not who submitted it and who's done the fan art. But obviously the links for all this will be in the description box down below and in comments. This creature's name means Gorgonized, based on the mythological legend of Gorgona. It's a prehistoric reptile, but it has got ancestors that were mammals. Found in the mountains and deserts, they're highly territorial and attack anyone and anything that gets into hunting grounds. But they will kind of prey on you. They'll wait until the perfect moment before they pounce. They're very fast, taller than a Phylaco, but they can't climb. So yeah, it's starting to feel a little bit just like one of the kitty cats we've already got. With the Shadow Mane only just been recently added, I guess it's a bit too soon, to be honest, to have another creature like that. And it does seem like it's got a similar ability which probably goes against it. It's got a crouch stance, making it harder for other survivors to detect it. So yeah, I kind of can see why maybe this one isn't necessarily doing that well either. Although it is doing better than some of the others, it's got 6.5% of the vote at the moment. I do like the look of it though, it's a bit more unique than some of the other creatures we've seen. Now this is pretty cool, having a big giant massive whale. Obviously we have got the leads, and I think this is probably still just a bit too similar. The Livyatan Melville. Obviously it would be an ocean styled creature. The Lost Island is an island, so it could sit very well within that map. And interesting as well, it is a carnivorous whale too, so just like the leads. I'm going to be real with you, I don't think anyone actually likes the leads being in the game. I don't know if they've been nerfed at any point recently, but for such a long time they are an absolute pain in the butt, especially on the centre map, literally attacking you and just destroying you pretty rapidly and quickly. It is another albino creature just like the leads, I guess because it goes quite in the depths. It does have a head-on collision tactic to bust open high-tech underwater facilities, so I'm guessing they're saying it could be potential for busting through tech bases. Yeah, it's good to see a good choice and a nice water version added to it. But I can see why people maybe aren't voting for that one, with only 5.5% more or less for that too. Next up we've got the bison. Now I quite like this. I like the idea of having a bit more farm sort of animals. It might not be as sexy having a more modern equivalent of a creature, but I do feel like we're missing out a little bit on kind of farm-like creatures in Ark Survival Evolved. Or grazing or livestock. I think we're missing a beat that there isn't as much to do in terms of farming. Obviously we've got the crop plots, but now you've got the tech crop plot that can do it pretty much all for you. I still like the idea of being able to get milk and certain things from different creatures. So a bison added to that could be pretty cool. This dossier says the female ones would be the only ones you'd be able to ride. A good, strong and fast mount, and definitely something for more starter-based people running around. Does it fit with the Lost Island map though? Probably not. It does look like it's pretty jungly, although I haven't really examined all the biomes of that map. I do believe we do have bison though in Southeast Asia, so obviously they can exist in very hot and humid climates. I don't know, when I think of a bison I just think of like the American plains, or possibly like Africa somewhere in the safaris. But its milk here would give the baby creatures to grow faster. So that, again, that's a more unique ability. That's what I want to see with these creatures. If it's going to be something pretty generic or something like we've already got, having a really, really different type of ability. So that one's got 6.5% nearly vote as well. So it's doing okay. It's in the third place pack along with a couple of others. Now the next one is the Tanystropheus. This is definitely one of the weirdest ones, and I kind of digging it. I kind of like it. I think it may just be a little bit too derpy for some people though, and it does look almost unrealistic. Although let's face it, dinosaurs are weird. Like none of them look realistic, or like they should actually exist with their different frames and body types that just defy gravity. I think if it's Necromad that suggested it, they've even gone as far as getting a video, or someone's posted a video about why it could be good. I guess its main benefits here are to do with fishing. It is a semi-aquatic reptile. You'll feed it by pretty much giving it the corpses of fish, and then it will literally become a fishing rod for you. So it'll be able to get fish really super easy. Its other ability that they're saying is that because it's got such a long neck, not only will it be able to get fish, it might even be able to get some sort of loot for you, picking up garbage and rubbish from the seas around the Lost Island. Yeah, you know what? Again, it's got an ability that I think is a little bit more interesting than some of the others. And certainly it's one of the most unique ones out of this list. So I'm going to say it, I think I quite like this. Sadly, no one else does though, as it's only got 2.5% of the vote. It is currently the worst one on the list. Now at first glance I thought this was just a green phoenix, which I kind of dug. I like the idea of having more bird-like creatures in the game. I know we've got quite a few smaller ones, but maybe something bigger like phoenix. Unfortunately no, it is another shoulder pet. When you actually think about it, apart from the Argentavis, what have we really got that's kind of bird-shaped or bird-looking? Like we've got the Quetzals, and we've got some of the sort of more exotic ones like the Mangomar. I guess the Snow Owl is probably the most obvious one. But something a little bit smaller maybe, something useful like that, that could go around and steal items from players. I guess that could be cool, but yeah, I think I would have still preferred this as a rideable one. God, it's so long since I played Ark properly, I have totally forgotten some of the names. The Arca, that's it, the Archastrix. I guess it could be similar to that. Maybe people don't want to have another creature that could be just annoying. The Microraptors are still giving me shudders, how awful they are. But yeah, it does look like it'd be a treasure hoarder, grabbing items from players, as well as being able to hold trophies. So again, we kind of do have quite a lot of side or shoulder pets that do that job already. So maybe just not enough unique abilities with this one. Although it has got some of the best third place voting, nearly 7%. It's actually third place at the moment. Then we've got the Suchomimus. Again, I feel like this creature's probably too similar to some of the others we've already got. It says here that this creature, because it's a semi-aquatic one, can actually kill a lot of water creatures fairly easily. And it is one of the creatures that will do well in water and on land. Yeah, it's just way too close to some of the others. Doesn't really have an ability that makes it stand out apart from some of the others. I'm kind of feeling I should have gone to the bother of trying to suggest one myself. Some of these abilities definitely could have done with some work. You can see the differences. Some have gone really almost fantastical with what it can do, and then others have just played it a bit too straight and a bit too simple. I think if some of these suggestions had a little bit more oomph in terms of what they could offer, when you consider all the other creatures and what they can do, I reckon they definitely have a little bit more popularity. And then finally we've got the Carcharodontosaurus. Mate, I am awful at these dino names. I'm awful at most names to be honest. But this is the second place one with 26% of the vote at the moment. And it's just another Carno or Allo. It would be apparently slightly stronger than a T-Rex and maybe just ever so slightly larger. It would get a hydrated buff and be more adept at swimming and harvesting prime fish. So it says here that this creature wouldn't actually be able to take as much of a beating as a T-Rex and a Giga. Now normally I'd be like, oh, that doesn't make sense though. If it's bigger than a T-Rex, then it should surely be, you know, king of the dinosaurs. Albeit except for the Giga. But it does explain that because it's more of an aquatic creature as well, that it does well near water or water's edges, that it's got lighter bones, I guess, to help it swim through the water. For me, this is just too similar to what we've already got with the T-Rex, the Gigas, the Yellows, the Carnotaurs, etc. So, come on Jade, put your money where your mouth is. What one do you think should win? I bet a lot of you guys are probably saying, you know what, I'm going to do it. I always vote for the underdog. It's derpy, it looks stupid, but I kind of like the idea of having something a bit different and unique in the game. I'm going to go for the Tanystropheus. Sure, we've probably got some creatures that can do fishing for you, I actually like the idea that we could potentially use this for getting particular types of maybe resources from trees. Maybe because it's got such a long neck, it'd be able to pluck wild flowers from certain trees, i.e. whenever you harvest a tree, you'll actually get some wild flowers from it as well. Something along them lines to utilise its neck more rather than just being a fishing creature. But yeah, I'm doing it. I'm going for this one, guys. I think it's interesting. It's probably the most unique looking one out of this lot. And it's something we just don't have a lot of. We've got big dinosaurs with big long necks. They're all pretty boring, so they move pretty slow. Just give me a fast, nimble one that's like bobbing and weaving its neck around. That sounds pretty cool. So do it. If you're an Ark Ratbag fan, go and vote for... No, guys, you vote for what you want. Like, honestly, I couldn't give a monkeys. If you're only voting purely based on what a YouTuber tells you to vote, then frankly, you're an idiot. Sure, you can agree with someone and say you like their ideas or not, or you like their suggestions. Try and have your own brains when you're watching other YouTubers' videos talk about these votes. It's okay, you don't have to agree with everyone you watch. I'm sure I'm going to get plenty of people criticising me for liking this one, but I just like it. So there we go, bunch of other stuff with Ark I'm not going to go through. As I said, I'm here now to cover games that I really am enjoying or that I think are really doing good stuff. I didn't enjoy Genesis 2, I don't want to harp on about it, I didn't even bother doing a review of it. I'm hoping that the Lost Island will give me a reason to come and actually enjoy playing Ark again, but I will of course still be here with big news. If we get any actual info or I've got an opinion to talk about with Ark, then I will carry on doing more videos. And I'm hoping that eventually we might do something with Ras Clark and a bunch of other content creators on a server altogether in the future too. That might be something in the works. Let me know what you think about the vote. Pop your comments down below. Agree, disagree? Was there something that you really felt should have been in the top 10? And what do you think about a popularity contest? Should it be the wildcard devs that decide or us, the community? Let me know and I'll see you right back soon.